Actually has less to do with the wind and more to do about the heat peeling off the ground, and it just kind of circulates. It makes its own little tornado, if you will, there. Not quite, but either way, we're watching that move up. That's a nice big column of air right there. Mandalay Bay Cam looks good right here. Now, what we've got coming up is certainly some wind. We saw some today, but also the heat. And I don't mean heat like just a crazy heat up, but I do mean extended heat. So your first alert is that probably extending that heat we've been talking so much about, but at least we'll be ending the sticky weather. I want you to show you a whole decade of monsoon weather that you've seen. Look at the past year. We're talking 2017, yeah, 3/4 of an inch, a little more than that, and the average line is about an inch. That's where we should be. You can see some years just nothing really. 2010 was a very dry year for the summer monsoon, but then other years, even later on, just a few years later, boy, did we see some rainfall. And a lot of times you can associate kind of a tropical system with some of the heavier rainfall. Only for this year, we didn't really have much come up the Gulf of California. You saw Lydia come pretty close, but look at all the tracks right there of all the tropical systems so far. The year's not over yet, but most of them stayed out to sea, unlike the Atlantic, where we saw so many make it into the U.S. So desert Doppler, not seeing much activity, but we are seeing some. How interesting, out toward the east. So there is some moisture around. We're not going to get it here. Our weather, with peaks and valleys, the valleys being the big dip in the jet stream, we cool things down, but we're going to see more peaks than anything else. So I suggest to you that we're going to have 90s that'll last maybe through early next week instead of another cool down. So for tomorrow, once again, temperatures warm up a few more degrees. Different areas you see, Spring Valley 86, Centennial Hills. We love you folks there, right there at 86 as well. For the weekend, we've been talking about, it's our 13th First Alert commitment to let you plan for the weekend. It looks like 90 still, but then next week we might hold on to some of those. It looks like the pattern will shift. That's your first alert, and it definitely means more warm weather sticks around. So just when you thought it was going to get cooler, the interesting thing is those 90s are actually closer to normal for this time of year than we have been for so long. Back to you, Carla.